before we move on, so we are going to talk about our league table predictions, but I believe we had a few questions come in.
Only a couple. So Todd Wild, he commented before the video. He asked, he wants to know about Busan. What do you think of Busan Park signing, particularly two foreign players? They've not played in the K-League before. Do you think that is a risk?
It's always a risk.
Yeah.
It's always a risk. We've talked about players who have settled and how that they've told us how it was difficult to settle, and we've heard about players in the past where they haven't settled and they have had to leave. So it's not just about whether they are good players; it's whether they adjust to the culture and the way of life and the food.
And the food, I was going to say, the food is huge.
Honestly, the food is huge. Yeah. So it's a risk. It's always a risk. And then, like I said, when I was talking about Busan, why didn't they sign William Pop, who is a foreigner, who did obviously seem to adjust, because in the year that he was at Busan, he scored 18 goals. So, it's a risk, but just because we don't know who they are, doesn't mean that the club haven't scouted them well.
Right.
So hopefully for Busan's sake, then they're going to be all right. But yeah, it's always a risk.
Yeah. Two more. James Edrup wanted to know our thoughts for top scorers for both leagues. So just ask you now for K-League 2 specifically.
Kim Bong-chan. Got it in there before you did. Sorry. He has to be. He has to be.
I think I'd back that. I think Suwon are well equipped to get the ball to him, and he doesn't really miss when he's given the chance. So I think it just could work for them.
And the thing is, when he played for Songnam last year, he was played behind the striker. He was played behind their main sort of like number 9, if you will, in like a diamond, which it made sense on one hand because he's got good technique and he's very intelligent as a footballer. He's very experienced, but he's a goal scorer. You need him to be the peak of the diamond. So yeah, that's probably why he didn't score that many for Songnam. But I think if he's used in the right way, he will score at least 15, at least.
I'll go slightly counter, and I'm going to say Raul from Ansan because nobody else can score for them.
True.
And he was near the top of the charts last year.
Yeah.
I think he finished 3rd last year. And this year, if he can have anybody else backing him up, I'm not saying that they're going to have a good season, but I think when you're looking at that team, I think it was that nobody else scored 3 goals for them. They're not coming from anywhere else. They're only going to come from him. So he had a good year last year, and I think he's primed for another one. And I'm mainly just doing it so we don't all say the same thing. So we'll see. But I think, it'll be interesting to see because I almost said challenge. K2 is always a really fun league to watch for these kind of players. Okay.
And one more from our very own Branko Bilan. I gave you a short shrift in my mention earlier because I was on the clock. But Branko is new at K-League United. He's covering Jeju this season, but he helped us out with a few other previews. You should go and read his pieces on Gangwon, Pohang, Jeju, and Gangwon. Sorry, Gangwon. All good work. He wants to know the biggest surprise in both leagues. Now, I think we could actually probably cover that in terms of club with this next little piece.
With our next segment. So it's one thing to talk about each of the teams, but we're really going to go ahead and just put ourselves out on a limb with this, and we're going to predict our league tables. We already did this once, talking about what it would look like through 10 rounds, but
can I just say, when I made my notes earlier, I did this today. I had the top 4, I think, sort of set in stone, but the rest of it I was like, no. And I kept scribbling it out and writing on the team name and thought, but what about this team? And then it was really difficult because obviously there are 4 or 5 clubs that you would expect to be at the top, but after that it could be anything. At that bottom half of the K2, it could come in any order.
I think this is why, if you're watching and you're a K2 fan, you already know this, but if you're not a fan of K2, this is why this league is so much fun, because this league is so close. Every year, there's, like you're saying, there's a middle set of like 6 or 7 teams that could all find their way into the playoffs. And I mean, this was even the case last year.
It was,
Gyeongnam ran away with it last year. But the rest of the field was really, really interesting, except for some teams at the bottom that won't have to be named.
Well, the thing is what happened with the middle of the league. Nobody seemed to want to go and push for the top 4. Yeah. Only at one point, obviously, Gangnam went away with it. Busan had 2nd place locked up, and then 3rd, 4th, and 5th. That was it. Yeah. The rest of them were very equal, but for the wrong reasons. But it's a new season, and the transfer window's been very busy for all teams. Yeah. So yeah, it could be a different story in 2018.
Mm-hmm. We'll see. We'll see.
No,
So what we're going to do here, we're going to run through this kind of quickly because we've already covered most of the teams in detail. What we're going to do is give our pick for each position, and then we're going to cover in one sentence why we put them there.
All right.
Are you ready? We're not on a clock this time.
I haven't rehearsed this, so
Yeah, no, that's fine. I don't know.
It's sprung on us here. This
So
is
we're
okay.
gonna start with Matt, then we're gonna go to Paul, and then we're gonna come around to me. So we're going in a lovely circle here. So starting in 10th for K-League 2, Matt has
Ansan Greeners. Because somebody has to be last.
all right, Paul.
I said the same thing just because I don't think that they have got the clout to sign enough quality.
Fair enough. I'm gonna switch this one up a little
Oh,
bit.
come on! That's a mistake, surely.
It's not. I have Dejan Citizen just because I don't think they've done enough to address the issues that they had last year. Sorry. Moving on. In 9th, Matt has
They're John Citizen.
That's better, but still not.
We don't have the scarf here.
That's it. I'm handing my reputation.
They've made a lot of noise, but I think it's too soon to see actual change.
Yeah. And from Paul in 9th place, we have
Eiland again, just because I don't think the manager's got enough experience.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, you have to get experience by getting it from somewhere. You can't just, it's a catch-22 situation. But I just don't think that Eiland, the people who are making the footballing decisions upstairs, they're targeting the right people to do the managerial job. That's just why it is there.
one sentence with a great use of a semicolon there.
You see, grammar. Important.
Grammar matters, kids. Study your grammar. All right, in 9th place for me, I have Ensign Greeners, largely because of the reasons that you guys have already mentioned, that there's not enough there for that team to move much further up the table. So back to Matt in 8th place.
Sol Eiland. It's just
It's going to be the same.
it's another year, and it's another Sol Eiland.
Harsh but fair. In 8th place, Paul has
Progress for Dejan. Similar to what you're saying, or what you both said actually, in the sense that it's probably a bit too soon to make strides for top 4, but I think it's just going to be better than last year. It can't be any worse than last year, obviously. True. Yeah, there you go.
All right. Moving along in 8th, I have Sol Eiland because
It's the same bottom 3.
Yeah, it's gonna. Yeah, I mean they're going to be somewhat similar. I want Eiland to do so well, and they do so many things so well. Like you're saying,
food trucks,
off the field stuff, other than the shouty guy and the PA. Please go away,
Please
shouty guy,
that.
if you're watching.
So if anybody knows the shouty guy, Eiland, can you just tell him to stop, please?
I will pay him not to go to those games.
Yeah.
Legitimately. They haven't done enough to make that bump up. I don't see it happening, unfortunately. So back to Matt in 7th place.
FC Anyang. I think they've made some positive backroom staff changes, but similar to Dejan, I think change takes time. If they have this staff for 2 years, I think we'll see positive moves next season, but not this year.
Yep. And in 7th, Paul has.
I said the same thing, and it's not because of Anyang's not being good enough. It's because the teams above them are going to be better. That's simple.
Fair enough. And in 7th, I have FC Eiland, and I don't need to add anything.
We didn't do this in the same room, by the way. This was all done.
This is all
No,
privately.
they're actually finding mine out right now because I made them send me theirs, and I kept mine a secret.
Because you're sneaky like that.
Because why not?
Yeah.
In 6th place and just missing the playoffs, Matthew has
Gwangju FC. I just think that they need to rebuild. I think they come down in a bit of a mess, and it's going to take time to restructure.
And Paul has
Gwangju for the same reasons. I think that they have lost a lot of players. They've not brought in any real quality at all. A gamble. No, they're not going to be bottom, but they're not going to be anywhere near the top either.
Here's where things are going to get a little bit different.
Ooh.
In 6th place and just missing out on the playoffs, I have Bucheon because I think they've lost too much heading into this year. I think Pop is capable of having a good season. But Bucheon hasn't proven capable of making that leap yet, and the teams above them are too good for it to be made this year. So, moving into the playoff positions, Matthew has in 5th place.
I have Bucheon 1995 FC because they never get promoted. They're always good, but they never get promoted. Same again this season. They're going to just miss out agonisingly.
Something to look forward to, Bucheon fans.
Well, they'll have a new stadium.
That stadium does look lovely. And Paul in 5th place has...
What did I say? Oh, yeah, Bucheon. I've lost, sorry, yeah. Just simply because, the teams above them. Again, it's the same reason as Anyang. The teams above them will just be better than them.
Yeah. I have faith in Gwangju FC to finish 5th because I think last year, we all of us said this for the vast majority of last year, they weren't as bad as their record looked, and I think that's going to be true again this year, and I think the competition that they're playing against is going to be more their level. I think they'll make the playoffs this year. We'll see. Coming in 4th place, Matt has...
I have Busan. I think they'll make the playoffs, but I think it's last year, the winter, there's been a lot of upheaval. It's not going to be as good as last season.
Yeah, fair enough. Paul has...
Asan, yeah. I'm putting him in 4th because I think they're going to be a good side, but the first, second and third seasons will be just that bit better. I think with Asan, there's going to be those new players coming in, but I don't know if the new manager can find a way to play them,
Fair enough. In 4th place, I have Sangnam because I think they're going to be a good team, and it's like you've been saying about a lot of the teams. This isn't necessarily about Sangnam being bad, it's about the 3 teams that I have above them being just a touch better. Moving into the top 3, Matt has
Songnam FC. I think they're going to have another good season, but it's not going to be a great season, but they'll be in the playoffs, and then who knows what happens from there on in.
Fair enough. Paul also has
Songnam because of 2 players, Adair and Muralya. I forgot how you pronounce his name. The fellow that was at Pohang last year. I think those are 2 really quality signings. Amongst others, it must be said, but they'll be better than them last year.
Yeah. And in 3rd place, I have Busan. I park because I think they're not going to be as good as they were last year, but they will be good enough to get a playoff spot. In 2nd, Matt has
Asan Mugunghwa. Purely for the reasons I said earlier, incredible midfield, and they're there for the whole year.
Paul has
Busan, just because I think that they are clearly trying to make this the season that they go up.
Yeah.
But they're not quite as good as the team that I picked for first, which by now you can probably work out.
You can figure it out.
Yeah.
In 2nd, I have Suwon FC because I think the talent is there, and I don't think they're poorly managed, but I don't think they can put it all together this quickly this year to win the title outright. But earning promotion, Matt has
Suwon FC. For the same reasons, I think they've made. For similar reasons, I think they have made some good signings and things. But I think they will gel quickly, and I think that will show us over the course of what is a long season for the challenge. Suwon FC will come out on top.
Yep. Paul has
Suwon FC, and I'm just going to say 3 syllables. Kim Dong Chan. He's going to be the league's top scorer.
And winning the league outright, I have Asama Gungo. I have the police squad because that midfield.
They're taking no prisoners.
That midfield is going to control.
Should get to jail for that pun.
They get out of jail free card.
Enjoyable. Yeah, they're going to dominate every single game. I don't see any other team being able to keep up with them. So we'll put this out on Facebook and Twitter and everything else. And if you want to throw in your predictions for the league, then that would be great because then we won't be the only ones making fools of ourselves.
And yeah, if you do send us them, don't put Dejon in 10th or 9th, even though at least 8th. At least agree with me. Come on, we're not that bad.
Anyway. All right, so we're just about done with our K2 coverage here, but real quick, we are going to be covering some matches in person for opening weekend. The 3 of us, I believe, are all going to be at Daejeon versus Bucheon for Saturday.
Which I cannot wait.
If you haven't made it out, Daejeon World Cup Stadium, lovely place to watch a game.
It is.
And we'll be there. Just look for that shirt
Oh, right, yeah, I'm wearing this.
I won't wear this one. I might even buy the new one actually. The new Dejan shirt.
The new Dejan shirt's pretty nice.
It's got a nice blue kind of foldy over.
Flippy, foldy collar. Yeah. So we'll be there. We'll be covering that one in person on Saturday. And then on Sunday, the two of us...
We're going to Suwon Sports Complex, along with our Seoul Eiland columnist, Michael Redmond. And the three of us are going to take in Suwon FC versus Seoul Eiland.
Yeah. And
the second division super match. And, yeah.
Oh.
Hey.
Didn't think of that. Yeah.
Well, there you go. So, so it should be a good day out.
I think it's just a good match.
They've just switched the colors.
Yeah.
And that one, Seoul is blue and Suwon is red-blue. But yeah, I think those are going to be some pretty interesting matches. Obviously, you're a Daejeon fan, that's why we're going to that one, but I think that's going to be an interesting match anyway, because I think Bucheon's a team that's in transition, Daejeon's a team that's looking to improve. So that one's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it's two teams that have got points to prove after last year.
Yeah, absolutely. And Suwon FC, as you saw, all three of us favor them to do really well this year. And if Eiland can knock them off on opening day, that's a statement for Eiland. So I think that's another interesting match.
Yeah.
So that's what we'll be covering in person. As far as the K2 schedules, we have every team's schedule broken down week by week, team by team on the site right now, which obviously is KLeagueUnited.com. So if you want to check out your team's schedule, it's up on there. Before we get out of here for the K2, did we have any additional questions?
No, there's a lot of questions for the Classic, so we'll address them.
The Classic doesn't exist anymore, Matthew.
Sorry. Old habits die hard, but K-League 2 is quite the challenge this season.
Hey,
we can all do puns.
Yeah, well done. So we're going to take about a 5-10 minute break here, and we're going to come right back here on Facebook, and we're going to talk about K-League 1, not Classic. And we'll do the same thing. We're going to run down each of the teams then. We'll give our league predictions, and then we're also going to get into awards.
Finally, we're getting we're getting paid for
remuneration.
If you write for the site for 3 years, you get a free shirt. Yeah. So good job, guys. You did it.
Thanks.
So yeah, we'll be right back with that. So if you have anything you want us to cover for K1, get that in the comments below, and we will touch on it afterwards. But in the meantime, I'm going to extremely unawkwardly climb up and turn off the camera. We'll be back in 10 minutes. Thanks for watching.
Thank you for watching.
If you like the video, go ahead and click on his face to subscribe, and you can be entered for a chance to win this match-worn Maren Orslich kit just by subscribing and sharing the post. Again, click on his face.